What does Scout do for a rogue?
It sort of bridges Ranger. It
Okay.
gives it
Tracking,
it has
perhaps?
tracking and
Perception?
survival and perception and
Checking
those
for
kinds of
traps,
things. Yeah.
which is
That sort of stuff.
investigation, I suppose.
Yep, yep. But
Huh.
it does it sort of it would be a good one.
Okay. Y'all are seeing this. I'm calling him back, but I have no fucking clue why this is happening.
Yeah, this is weird. And
Huh.
I think it would be pate.
Sashimi?
Yeah.
Dude. Okay. All right. We can't keep doing this.
Well, this is annoying.
All right, Ben.
Critters! Taiwan!
Tuesdays. Woodworking Tuesdays.
If it's not
Woodworking
one thing, it's a
Tuesdays.
fucking another.
Yep.
Jeez, we just want things to go smoothly at the end of a Tuesday.
Oh, yeah,
you know?
that's
I got my
the
worst
dream.
class. You know,
That's the dream.
you're fucking tired as dick.
Yeah, man.
All right,
Well,
just double checking. Fucking, we're having technical difficulties that might or may not be in the video when we release it, but yeah. Anyway, starting from the top, then, Ben.
Are we on the internets?
Yeah, yeah, we are. Yeah, sorry. I didn't
Hey,
announce
welcome
that.
to Critters in Taiwan, a D&D podcast about Critical Role, where a bunch of nerdy-ass voice actors sit around and play Dungeons and Dragons. I am Ben Gaosheng,
I'm Intimate Tendrung.
and we're a couple of critters in Taiwan.
Absolutely.
It's
we
been
are.
a Tuesday, man. I've been playing with wood all day.
Yeah, and that particular
got-
piece of wood looks really attractive.
It's just a big piece of plywood at this point.
Well, sure, but you got the
really
you got
all
the
it
little
is.
divot in the one
There's
side
a
that
little
everybody
there's
knows
a
what
little,
that is.
There's a little crescent action going on. Hey, today we're talking about
D&D table, by the way.
yeah. Today we're talking about campaign 3, episode number 36, A Desperate Call.
A desperate call.
Should be called fan service.
Yeah, once again, right on the nose, but also
Yeah.
the way I saw it, just fan service. You know?
Fan service.
I think anybody who comes in on the campaign 3, which I recommended to multiple people, like just jump right in. You know, what this episode was just any hardcore long-term fan like the two of us and anybody else watching. I'm sure it's just service to us. Just like, oh, let's see this place. Let's see these characters as NPCs instead of characters at the table.
Yeah, we got
It was pretty slick.
Yep, we got lots. So yeah, I was saying to you, like I've got a bunch of pages of stuff here that I wrote down, but most of them are really just like, oh, that's cool. Oh, wow, that's neat. Oh, I like that part. Oh, that's
Same.
interesting. I'm glad to see that's where they went. Oh, that's what they're doing now. Okay, it's just a whole bunch of that. So
Yeah.
it's not like anything really, whatever. It's just some stuff.
Right.
Before we get started, one thing I didn't say before, the I don't usually do this, but the ads at the beginning of this one, we got ourselves a release date for LOVM
That's right.
season 2.
Season 2 has a
man.
January
January
20
2023.
third, January
And-
23rd, or am I just getting the year?
No,
mixed up?
January 2023.
They just said January. Okay.
Yeah, they just said January.
And the green light for
Green
season
light
3.
for season 3.
Yeah,
That's
bro.
awesome. So where do you think, this is what I was going to ask you, but I was going to wait till this. Where do you, so there, we know that the Briarwood arc was season 1. It's going to be Chroma Conclave number 2.
It's gotta be.
Now, I'm curious what they're going to do with number 3. I have a sneaky suspicion.
I got
it's
mine.
going to be, I think it's going to be Chroma Conclave part 2.
Okay.
I think they're going to do Chroma Conclave for two seasons.
Yeah.
It's a big arc, man. It's
It
a
is.
huge arc.
5 dragons, man.
We've talked about this before. It was supposed to be the end of campaign 1. The Chroma
Right.
Conclave was supposed to be it. So it's for me, I'm like 2 seasons. Sounds right. But I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, with the Conclave arc, did we say spoilers already?
No, but we
Whatever.
just did.
Fuck you. Spoilers. If you don't know, get out. You should know by now. Jesus Christ. You can't watch episode 36 and not know that we're going to spoil everything. So,
yeah, you're right. Yeah. You're right.
One of these days, we're not going to fucking say it anymore. It's just on you. With not Umbrasyl. It was the blue one that they killed before they went
Umbrasyl.
live. No, Umbrasyl was the black one.
Oh.
The blue one, I forgot the name.
Vorgo is the white.
It's in the animated series. The guy who was a general.
Yeah, he was you're right. He was oh man.
Oh, man. There's like a S in there. There's a soft S in there. A soft S? Is there a hard S?
I think that's called a C.
I want to say Umbrasyl too, but it's not. I think there's a B and a C in there as well.
Oh man. Anyway, what are you gonna say?
Boffelslap. So they already took him out before the first. So there were supposed to be 5, but there were 4, right? Because they had the black, the white, Brimscythe. That's the one. B and a fucking S. Yep.
And a C.
Yep. And a C.
The hard S.
So that one was already taken out before the campaign 1 started online.
Yep.
So that means that so they've got the rest of the dragons part of the conclave.
Yep.
And after that, you've got the whole Vecna arc.
Right.
So I've got 2 thoughts in my head. Are they going to do the conclave for 2 arcs, because it did take a lot of the time of the first campaign?
Yep.
And then Vecna was, I don't know, was it relatively short?
I forget. It feels like it was about equal to the Chroma Conclave. So maybe they are going to do Vecna. Maybe it's too iconic to leave out, because it's the ascension of one of the new gods in the thing, right? So
the animated and the Critical Role campaigns, they're not necessarily in sync with each other, right?
That's right.
Yeah, that's actually another point that I had later, but
yeah, I don't know. My money would be on them doing. I would like to see 2 seasons. I mean, I just want to see more. I just wanted them to do like season 4 and season 5 then.
Yeah, sure, that'd be great. So,
2 seasons of Chroma Conclave and then 2 seasons of Vecna. That'd be great.
I mean, if they got the green light on these things ahead of time.
Yep.
Yeah, just like space it out. Don't make it so rushed. Like that first season was great, but it did feel, of course, because I watched it for 500 hours, whatever the fuck it was. And then it was like, it was over in like one season of 20 some minute episodes. And I'm like, okay, they're missing a lot here, but it's still a good show.
It's still great.
And I'm excited about it.
Yeah.
So if they get more green lights, which I'm sure they would, I mean, look at them. They're a powerhouse in this side of the world,
Also, on the notes of powerhouses, if I may, I've just been handed a note. Speaking of powerhouses,
Lacey handed him a note.
The powerful Mr. Ben Hamilton has given us a couple of, he calls them challenges. I don't really know if the challenges is more as just conversation starters, but sure. The first one being, if Fern and Chutney were to get to level 3 in Rogue, which archetypes, subclasses would they choose?
He prefaces with the conditional if.
If.
Okay.
I'm just gonna.
This is more on you because I don't know subclasses.
Yeah, that's fine. I thought about it for a little while, and I don't think number one, I don't think they will. I don't think either of them will, because Chutney might. He's talked about it. He's going to go Blood Hunter for quite a while.
I think Chutney would, but not yet.
He might he might go up there. We'll see. Fern. If Fern was to take two more levels in Rogue, because she's only level 1, Timothy. She's only a level 1 Rogue and a level 6 Druid.
Why am I in trouble? You only call me Timothy when I'm in trouble.
Well,
or is that my mom?
I'm slightly frustrated. And we'll talk about that later. But
Okay.
if Fern was to take 2 more levels in Rogue, I have the feeling she would choose the archetype of Thief, because they're sort of the burglar type, the one that steals things and sort of is that kind of a stereotypical rogue.
Mostly at the detriment to the party.
Sure.
and
Sure.
to the endangerment of the party.
And if Chutney was to take an archetype in Rogue, I sort of feel he would go 2 routes.
How many are there? 3, you
There's
said?
6 or 7.
Oh, Jesus, okay.
There's a lot. Well, they keep every time they put out books, right? They put out a new one. The newest one, there's like Phantom Rogue, and then there's Soul Knife, and there's a couple of other ones that come with like the new Tashas and the new books when they start putting them out. They do more archetypes that you can.
You know
choose
what's
from.
also a little bit moot at this point is homebrew.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, but to answer Hamilton's question, you'd be like, okay, of the things that we know, what do you think we would like?
I think he might go assassin. The assassin archetype sort of fits the way that he plays in combat and the way that he sort of roams around a little bit, and maybe, but then equally
assassin?
so he might choose scout, and scout would be sort of more along. That
makes a lot more sense to me.
Yeah, just because of the way he goes invisible and scouts.
He's constantly scouting.
Yeah,
checking for traps. He's on it.
He's on it, right? So that sort of thing. The scout archetype might fit well.
Yeah, this last episode, he went invisible and went to the house when they're battling, and he's like, I got to check out the house.
Yeah, Yep.
He was definitely scouting while they were fucking taking hit points.
Right, right. I think he saw it as more of a mission, but we can get into that later. And then the second challenge that he gave us was,
why do you got to challenge us, Hamilton?
Yeah. Seriously, was if Laudna was to take a couple more levels or one more level in Warlock, which pact archetype would she take? And there's three. First being the Pact of the Blade.
Okay.
Pact of the Blade, which probably doesn't make sense because she's spell sniper and would be in the back, wouldn't be in the front.
She doesn't have a blade.
Pact 2, yeah, no kidding. Pact 2 is Pact of the Tome, which gives you a bunch more cantrips and a couple more cantrips, a couple more spells. You get a book. The book is filled with some new stuff and whatever. But that one doesn't really make that much sense either because it just doesn't fit into character. The one that really does
makes a little sense to me just because she's so close with Imogen and she's, I will study with you,
Yeah. Maybe.
That's why that one kind of like immediately made sense, but I don't know shit about these subclasses.
Right. Well, Delilah writes the tome for her, so it would be a bit weird. Your patron sort of gifts you the grimoire that you get, and it would be a little strange. Again, everything's weird, right? But
everything's weird right now, especially with what you just said.
Exactly.
If Delilah's not there.
The one pact that makes sense is the Pact of the Chain, because that gives you the familiar. And the familiar, of course, would be, she has two, which she would be able to choose. I mean, classically, raw, you get like a pseudo-dragon or a quasit or an imp. I think you get to choose one of those three, but this is homebrew city, so
challenge class of one or two.
It's like a quarter CR. It's really tiny.
Like kitten level.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, they're like this little. I mean, the imp or the quasit are the really interesting ones because the imp can go invisible and has poison, and the quasit has like other abilities. The pseudo dragon's the coolest, but it's the weakest of the three. But I think I think that Matt would just be like, hey, guess what? Your raven skulled rat just grew wings and is alive now.
There you go.
Hey, that'd be amazing.
Just turn it into any one of those three. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, no. Let's take a step back on that one also, because I don't think that Laudna, barring anything that comes up later on.
We said spoilers, right?
I don't think Laudna chooses any more levels in Warlock ever again. That's just gonna throw that out there.
I think that I agree with you. Is that something you agree with? Yeah, I don't think that's gonna happen either, because if she gets resurrected after this thing, Delilah's separated from her body, from her soul.
Yeah.
So Delilah's not there anymore.
There's so much that doesn't make sense. Should we get into this now, or should we just go into Rollies?
Well, we can talk about it until Rollies need to come up.
So here's my problem. Right off the hop, like as soon as we got into this stuff with Pike, hi Pike. As soon as Pike went in there and dug in and was like, oh, there's two souls, but they're connected. I don't know which
one
is
of
which.
them's Delilah.
It doesn't fucking make any sense because hollow ones don't have souls.
Well, automatons don't either, but he's Eorian.
Your logic. You and your fucking logic.
Sorry, buddy. And if Hollow One, maybe she's not exactly a Hollow One.
I said this last week. I was getting upset about it. I'm like, no.
Yeah, her soul's got to be long gone.
You think
like
so?
since the tree days when she was hung from the tree.
Sure. When
Soul's got to be gone, right?
She's I don't know, man. Everything's fucking weird. Who knows?
I mean, Matthew, we know you're watching. Can you address these things on the next four-sided dive?
Okay, so speaking of, do you think that was the whole reason that he was on that episode of Four-Sided Dive?
I really do.
It felt to me at times he didn't want. It's not that he didn't want to be there, but he was like, "I'm only here for one thing, to make you all feel better. I want." Marisha's upset that people are saying she can't play Laudna anymore, and I'm here to tell you all that you can. That is, well, that sort of a thing. That Four-Sided Dive felt to me like a little, again, more fan service.
Yep.
It's okay.
Something we needed.
Don't worry. We're fine. We're gonna let everybody play here. Don't freak out, and part of me, to get a little bit cynical, part of me feels like there's two very opposing tribes in the critter kingdom. There's people that want to see Laudna never come back, that want to see Laudna be but death be permanent, and that that these things have actions, we've talked about many times, actions have consequences. And then there's the other tribe who are so triggered that they burst into tears at the mere thought of her never coming back. They're very, very two diametrically opposed factions, and it's
one phrase I've never used, but I always love it when I hear it. It just sounds so cool. Diametrically opposed.
It feels so tribal, man. It feels just like this is what the world is all about now. It's like, I choose this side. No, I choose that side. And even in the thing that we love the most, we cannot agree.
Yeah.
We
discussed this a bit on our last episode, I'm pretty sure.
We did. Yep.
Yeah, because we try to keep our personal texts to a minimum so we have it for the show. But I'm of the tough love variety. If you die, you die. Like, that's part of the fucking game,
Yeah, so am I.
There are.
I'm into it too.
There are video games.
I did say this last week. This is a game. You have to let it. You can't.
This is Matthew's approach. What you're saying right now, I think.
Yes. That this is a game, and taking agency away is detrimental to the entire spirit of the game.
Yep.
Completely. And if the player is invested, yeah, absolutely. If the player is invested and wants to make it happen, then you are obliged to do that. Otherwise, you're a dick.
Right.
Plain and simple.
Right.
It's just, and nobody wants to play at a table like that. Well, some people do, because some people are dicks and they like to play with other dicks. So
I would love to play at a table where I put all this time and effort into this, but if I die, I'm dead.
just a table of dicks.
Table of dicks. Like Chaos Reign. That's just that's how it works for me, man. Just like, if you take away that agency, I don't feel like I'm using the word right, but if you take away the agency of death, they're just like, well, okay, if you choose to want to come back, say it again.
You're saying consequences. You're taking away the consequences.
Sure. Okay, the consequences of death. Thank you.
Yes.
Then but you really want to play this character again? We can maybe find a way. Like in that Four-Sided Dive, this is not one of my points, but this is important for discussion.
It is.
To take away the consequences of death, which Matthew just basically said, like, well, if they really want to play this character, we'll bring them back. Let's remember, it's a game. Let's remember page 4 in the goddamn handbook, right?
Right.
Yeah, you can do whatever you want, and let's make this game fun. And then you bring in the other sides of it, where it's like, I'm sure they all have meetings, and like you were saying last time about the business aspect of it all, the merch, the intros, having fucking Marisha at the table is something that people really, really, tune in for. She's one of the people's favorites.
Yes.
I get that, but she died.
I know.
And that hurts. And I like that.
Yeah.
Like, I don't go to the gym and kind of work out halfway. No, I get sore as dick. And the next day I can hardly move.
A lot of dick stuff going on.
Yeah, a lot of dick stuff going on. What's going on here today?
All right. Should we get into some rollies?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I got a lot of quickies. Yeah, not a whole lot of quickies, dicks. God damn it. All right, I'm just gonna go ahead and win all of these so I can get through mine.
Well, let's see.
I'm gonna start with a natural 2.
I'm gonna start with a natural 15.
Okay. I mean, after this, I'm just gonna run you through all the whole gamut of all my points.
I'm going to say, as just sort of a general over thing, the players' faces when their campaign 1 characters entered was one of my favorite things from this entire episode.
That was pretty fun. I could see that from my phone.
Ashley's jaw literally dropped when Pike rocked up.
Her jaw dropped for each one of them.
Yeah,
all 4 of them.
Yeah,
and more. Sorry,
and sure. Taliesin looked completely shell shocked for the first 20 minutes of Percy. He looked it looked like he was scared to talk and just completely shell shocked. And even Laura was like visibly intimidated by Vex,
her other character.
Yes. So they were absolutely prepared for this.
They recognized the alpha here.
They knew this was going to happen, and yet still were shocked by it all. It was great. It was really, really, really great to see. And like I said, all of my stuff here is just like, that was great. I like this part. Yeah. That was fun. That's cool.
It was awesome to see.
It really was. It was really good. And we talked about this 2 weeks ago, that you saying that, well, maybe they'll be able to play their characters. Well, no. Matt is taking full ownership of them.
He did say, you're mine now. Yeah, he did say that. I remember that. When you said that, I was like, oh, that's right. They're yours now. He said that at the end of campaign 1.
He did. And I just want to say, like, I really think that he was very, very, very true to them. Maybe even a little bit more so. Like, I think there were times when I'm like, you're being a bit more. You've turned Percy into more of an asshole than Taliesin did. And I think I was like, is that because he's older now? Maybe it's
30 years.
It's 30 years later, so he'd be in his 50s. It's 60s or whatever, retired.
Yeah, 60s-ish. Yeah.
Sure. Retired from adventuring. It seems like they all retired except for maybe Keyleth. The whole
Keyleth
idea of she has to run she's the leader. So, but I mean,
she's gonna live. Well, she's level 20.
Yeah, Percy and Vex are also the leaders too, but maybe not as much. So I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how that works out. But I think I really, really, really felt that Matt handled it well. And that the players didn't. They didn't know how to handle it. It was good. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I'll say that not as a yes and, but just to tack on to that, I wasn't as starstruck as they were, because I was watching them. They're all just like, And like with Ashley's bright red lipstick, you can really tell when her jaw drops.
The first okay.
Yeah, it was so nice.
Yeah, that was so good. That was so good.
It was so cool.
Ashley, she full on took Mister and like covered her entire face. It was like she was so embarrassed. Like that's the iconic Pike, right?
Yeah, well, that's a part of Ashley that went into Pike. Yeah,
that's right.
Because that's an Ashley thing. That's where it came from. According to
what I found.
Brian Foster and herself.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just so I can just sort of add this thing, because I noticed this right away. Even though Matt said they're mine, I'm going to do this, and he full on took Percy and with the cane and added stuff, and it was like and Vex with the things that she's doing right now, and with the kids and coming up with all these kids, et cetera. Matt turned to look when they went to Pike's cottage. Matt turned to Ashley and was like, "What do they see in the cottage?"
Right. I found that a little bit strange.
I was like, "What? Oh!"
I was like, "I thought it was yours." Not.
Yeah. There was a little bit of a moment there, when I was like, interesting.
Yeah, interesting. Like putting her on the spot, and Ashley is probably the worst at the table at being put on the spot.
the worst at improv at that table. No offense there, but the worst at the table.
She's the first to say it.
Sure.
Yeah.
No, I thought that was an odd one. I'm like, oh, you've taken ownership of these characters, and then you've told Ashley to describe what they see inside her home.
Yeah. I guess at some point, it's like, well, Ashley knows the character more than Matt does, so
maybe.
Like Matt can make up whatever he wants over the last 30 years.
There would be pictures all over the, well, not pictures, I guess. There'd be paintings of all of her friends.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah. Cute.
She had to back up on that one.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then let me end with this one then.
Go.
I would like to ask you personally, how do you feel about Matt's portrayal of all these things, all these characters? Now, you've already kind of said that, but I'm gonna tack onto this. There was a thing that Ricky Gervais put on where he had Seinfeld, he had Chris Rock, and CK, and it's a thing I just happened upon on YouTube. It was like it had a very banal title, like comedians talking about comedy or something like that. And the four of them talked about shit. And at one point, Seinfeld said to CK, he was like, "You had this one bit, this one joke where you tell it. And CK's like, "What? You want me to do a bit? Nah." And he's like, "Okay." So Seinfeld said, "I'll do it." So he told the whole joke and about like how you put the kid in the car seat and you walk around the car. That's my vacation.
Right.
Have you seen that before?
Yeah, I know the one you're talking about. Yes.
And then CK was like, "That's the joke, but I did not tell it like that."
Yes.
You definitely Seinfelded the whole joke.
Right.
And I'm sitting here watching Matthew play Percy, Pike, Vex, Keyleth, and it's a Matt spin on it. Like, it's not a unique voice. He's using voices that he's used before.
Yes.
It's just the matted version of these characters.
Sure.
But I think that he did a fantastic job. I think he did a very, very good job. Keeping in mind that 30 years in the future, 32 years or whatever the fuck it is now, I think he did a fantastic job, especially with Keyleth.
Yes.
That's my opinion.
I think Keyleth and Percy he nailed. I feel like Pike was a bit of a softball. Like, that's just, it's pretty easy to do that one. Pike is just so kind and nice and gentle and wonderful that it's really easy to play that character.
The lifetime's involved too. She's not older.
I felt he didn't encapsulate Vex very well. She felt a little bit too, and as soon as I'm saying that, I was like, she felt a little bit too matronly. But then I'm like, but of course, she's had 5 kids.
She's got a ton of kids.
Yeah, 5. So. Sure.
Are we sure about 5?
Yeah, I am.
Because
I don't know about this wee shit, but I'm sure. I go onto the Critterpedia. So
okay. So you are sure of it. Okay.
Do you want to know their names?
Sure. I know Gwendolyn.
The twins are Vesper and Wolf. There is Leona. There is Vaxilden Frederick, and there is Gwen.
Okay.
There's 5 kids.
I don't think we need a new Rolly for this, even though it is one of my points.
Oh, okay.
What do we know about Gwendolyn? She's obviously a little tiefling.
Yes. So I know why, but I don't understand why I know why. I would like, I didn't do enough research on this one, and I feel a little remiss.
She's red-skinned. I don't know if that means anything.
Chat called it minutes before she was introduced, and I was like,
when Orem saw the thing.
Yeah. When Orem saw behind, you've been followed by somebody, you don't know who. It's like what size? And Liam was like, what size?
Clock it.
About your size.
Yeah.
And instantly, chat was like, Gwen, it's Gwen.
What the fuck?
Like, what? So I was like, how do we? And then I started looking it up, and I'm like, oh, okay. Now, how do you know that? Like, where did this? So
where did that information come out from, and when?
Yeah, Gwen comes from the Ipkish Pact, the pact that Percy took with the demon, the devil.
Jesus Christ, you have answers right now?
Yeah, well, because I looked it up. So tieflings come from when pacts are made with. This is D&D sort of lore, but I mean, that doesn't mean it's Critical Role lore, but it's D&D lore. Is tieflings are made when tieflings happen when humans or whatever, when mortals make pacts with devils,
right?
And then
there's a corruption of some sort.
There's a corruption of some sort, and this is the corruption, the Warlock Pact that Percy took. And then when he what was the demon's name?
Oh shit, we had this in a prior episode.
Yeah, we did. We talked about this. Whatever.
So that's Thax, something.
Orthax. You're right. So that's part of it, and then then he took another pact with Ipkish in the city of Dis.
Yeah.
There's some corruption there. Now, I don't know why everybody knows that, because maybe
I don't know why
somebody
they know her
didn't.
name.
Yeah, I know. I'm guessing that's why. I remember I told you I was looking in the Tal'Dorei guide. I'm like, maybe it was brought up there, but I didn't see it. So clearly it's been brought up somewhere else. Um, I don't know. If it's in a campaign book that I haven't seen, maybe that's it. I don't know, man.
That's
I don't
really
know what.
sweet, actually.
I don't
I
know.
was assuming that she was adopted for some reason.
No, she's
But
yeah.
now that this is being filled in right now here for me, I'm just like, I'm melting a little bit right now. Like, this little
Yeah.
girl is actually born from the two of them,
Yep.
fucking
Yep.
each other and having I imagine their
Interesting.
sex life is amazing.
Interesting little descriptor on her too. She has 4 horns. She has 2 primary ones and 2 small ones beside
I
the
didn't
big
catch
ones.
that.
Yeah,
I only heard these ones that came out this way.
yeah, they're not curled horns. They're like antelope horns. The ones that
Don't know
sort of
if
go
that's
up.
right, man, because I think Matthew did this,
The
unless he
art,
was circling the horns.
I think they're like the spring. What are those giant big antelope that are in South Africa? Kudu.
Oh,
Like
those things, yeah.
the spirally kudu horns. That's
But
sort
they're
of what
still
they look
like
like.
straight horns. They're just kind of like a narwhal tooth, right?
Sure.
Like it
Sort of
looks
that sort of
spiral,
thing.
but it
Yes.
grows spiral, but it goes
It grows
straight.
spiral.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh. That makes a lot more sense. The fact that people knew Gwendolyn, her name,
It trips me out a little bit. I don't know why they do that, because I was like,
it's got to be out there somewhere.
It's got to be out there somewhere. And then the twins, the older ones, we saw the 2 twins. We didn't see Leona and we didn't see Vaxel then Frederick, but there's 2 more out there.
Okay. On that note as well, sorry,
Yep.
I'm just bypassing the rollies for this one
Yeah, give
because
her.
it's rolling.
Yeah, do it.
Like, I keep track of my lineage as an Alaskan Native, and I have 530 seconds Alaskan Native Koniag blood, right?
Okay.
Now, 530 seconds, how do you get this? Okay, well, there's, interbreeding with different races, across the world, whatever. There's white people, there's German people, there's Finland, whatever. So my blood on paper is 530 seconds Koniag. I'm an Alaskan Native, just over an eighth. When Matthew said those 2 kids are coming in, they're arguing about how many they shot or whatever.
Yep.
And he's like, oh, you see 2 half-elven kids, or you see this one half-elven kid, and then you see another one.
Yep. Those are the
And
twins.
they're arguing and shit. These are, I'm assuming, children of the Derolos.
Sure.
And how could you still be a half
Yep.
if one of your parents is half and the other one is human?
Because D&D.
Because D&D. I think that's the answer I was expecting.
They wouldn't be.
There's
they
no
wouldn't be
quarter, there's no eighth, there's no 530 seconds. It's just half elven or full, or
they
none.
wouldn't be quarter. They wouldn't be quarter elven. They would be half elven. They'd still be considered half elven.
And then what happens if 2 half elven people fucking have a
They
kid?
have half elves.
Just have half elf kids,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
That's just D&D.
That's just
D&D.
D&D.
Okay.
Yep.
I accept.
I guess if you wanted to play them, you could do some Mendel genetics. You could make some Punnett squares, and you could sort of play with, flip some coins and stuff.
Squares.
And
I haven't heard that term in ages.
remember those? The
Yeah.
25%
color
chance,
thing, right?
Yeah, sure. There's a bunch of different things you can play with that. Mendel did all those genetic stuffs. Sure, if you really wanted to, I mean, you could do that.
Yeah, you could. Like half
I
orc
think-
as well,
Yep. Then eventually you get like a quarter orc and an eighth orc and a 16th orc and a,
Yeah, like you might get like a just a
One
white
s-
skinned motherfucker with a couple
one
of teeth.
tooth, with one
Yeah.
tusk sticking up. Sure.
What do they call that? By
Bicuspids?
shit. By something symmetry. I forgot that term. Bilateral symmetry. Yeah. To have just one over here. Well, hell,
Yep.
I only had 3 wisdom teeth come in. I didn't have
that's
4. I only had 3.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So here's some
I think it's Rolly's time. Yeah.
Yay.
It's been ages. Let's do it. I'm going to win all the rest of these, and they're going to be quick with a 5.
16. Okay. I've got. Where was the one that I wanted to do?
I've got such fast points. I just want to rattle them out.
Where is it? Man, no, I already said that one. Damn it. Oh, right. So I noticed 2 things. I noticed that I came to sort of a realization this isn't really like a thing. It's just more of a realization. When we were talking about the Revivify ritual a couple of weeks ago, about how Matt, that's new. The Revivify ritual hasn't, that's a brand new thing. It was like 3 weeks ago, maybe, when they tried to revive her.
Yeah.
I noticed a couple of things. I have a feeling there isn't going to be a raising ritual for Laudna, if when that happens. I have a sneaky feeling that this is the ritual.
This whole thing that they're doing right now. This whole thing. This diving in, separating the souls. This
astral projection spell that Pike has cast, that which, by the way, is a 9th level spell.
So fuck, that's in the books.
We're in, yeah. That's the with the threads, the little fucking threads and things. Those are, which is weird because she's projecting to this fucking plane that I have no clue what it is. Some weird shadow version of something. Doesn't make any sense. It's
Campaign 3, man. Anything can happen.
But it is. But the spell that she casts is astral projection. I have a feeling, and I noticed there was 2 hooks to get them into this ritual. So I'm going to call it the ritual from now on, because I think that's what it is. Okay. The first hook being that Vox Machina was responsible for the people that were strung up on the tree. What's the Latin word that they use to say that? Because that, so this. Id est? Maybe id est? Yeah. I don't remember what it is. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Because that, so this, this is how they get, this is why they're helping. This is why Vex is bankrolling this thing, because it's 6,600.
Right, Vex is on board.
They have enough gold to pay for this, but Vex is doing it because this is the hook. They feel responsible. Vox Machina was responsible for Laudna dying, and the rest of them all dying as well. So they're like, okay, we have to do this. But then the second hook is that they have to go in without Pike. And that's a weird one, because in the spell description, it's you and up to 8 others that go in. And Pike is not going. So this is the second hook part, is that
can you imagine a level 20 going in with them?
Yeah, I know.
Jesus.
It's silly.
It's like, oh, you got hurt? Not a problem.
Yeah, exactly. Just divine intervention.
Yeah.
On demand.
Yeah, right? On demand. You're like, hey, can you do this real quick?
Yeah.
Can you separate the souls?
Only once per week, but
sure.
Still.
But you can still do it. Whatever she wanted. On command. Yeah, sorry. Go ahead. We know this.
So the whole idea that they have to go in and go to the spirit realm with that and bring Laudna's spirit back without Delilah. It's sort of like these are these hooks that they've been set out there. And I sort of was thinking, I'm like, okay, well, this is part of the ritual. This is how. This is going to sound real bitchy, but how you appease Marisha's need for bringing Laudna back. Mm-hmm. And this is sort of how Matt is hooking all of this and pinning all of this together. You know what I mean? You know where I'm going with all of that?
Yeah.
I sort of was like, I was sort of
some thoughts.
As things were happening, I'm like, okay, well, that's this and that's that, and then you're going to do this, okay, and then it's all going to come together, and then it's like a little side quest sort of a thing, and this is the ritual. I think that's where I'm sort of going.
Yeah, I'd believe that. I mean, he's got to make it work somehow. He's not going to give you a level 20 fucking companion. Through this.
Any of them really. Like none of Vox Machina should be helping. Should be involved in this
whatsoever, other than connections, perhaps. Well,
I mean,
and they gave them diamonds worth of something. It's like, okay, well, let's chill out a little bit. They do have money.
Yep.
So
why are we? What was Ashton's quote? Why are we? What did he? I thought I wrote it down. Why are we something? Why are we doing something? What the hell did he say? Something about people living in a castle.
You said why are we like 12 times.
Yeah, I know. Oh, I wish I could remember the quote now. It made me laugh. I should have written it down. I thought I did write it down.
He said something quippy about like we're in a castle, but
yeah. It made me laugh. I thought I wrote it down. I guess I didn't.
I liked what the people did at the table when they're just like, "Do you have 25,000 worth of diamonds?
Yeah.
Or do you have 25,000 gold? And then like they were just like, all of them just started pantomiming like Vex, just like taking off fucking jewelry, emptying their pockets, like, oh, there you go.
Yes.
Because they're wealthy as dick,
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like they, somebody said like Orem was like, yeah, we'll be in your debt, we'll be in your service, and Ashton was like, or Taliesin as Ashton was like, why are we offering to pay people back who live in a castle?
Yeah,
like it's like right.
Why are we bartering with people who live in a castle? Something along those lines.
Something along those, not bartering. It's like why are we offering to pay back people who live in a castle? Like of course these rich fucks can cover it. So yeah,
especially after seeing Vex do that immediately. She's like, all right, I'll be back,
Totally.
And that makes perfect sense for Vex's character.
Yes.
Maybe countered what you were saying before. That's absolutely what Vex would do. The way that Laura played her, she's like, we Laura, are the problem. The initial problem.
Laura would have added in there, yes, of course, dear, you will pay us back. Like that's
because Laura's Vex is a
Vex was a very, very much a miser, a penny pitcher. Did you ever read Kith and Kin?
No.
Their backstory, like Vex and Vax's backstory about how they came to be part of, how they met, before they met the rest of Vox Machina. It's really interesting because actually Vex isn't like that until near the end of the book, and then suddenly becomes like that because there's formative stuff that happens in there. In that, great. It's a fun novel. It's not very well written. Sorry, guys. But it is good. It is.
Truth comes out, y'all.
It is worth reading. I'm a book snob, so.
Well, dude, if somebody took a journalistic approach just to give me the history of it, I would read it. It doesn't have to be well written. I just want to get the facts.
Kind of how I took it too.
And that's all in By Roden, right?
It's a good story, but just not very well written.
That's all in By Roden, right? Where they have those fucking statues erected now.
No, most of the.
That's where they're from, right?
Yes, but only the first part of the book is from By Roden. The rest of it is
leaving.
Their adventures and when they leave and why they leave and et cetera, et cetera. Yeah,
I'd be interested for sure.
Okay. I've got a digital copy of it. I can send it to you if you'd like.
Sounds good.
I believe you're up.
Okay. I don't remember if it was this or before we had these fucking technical issues where Skype was tossing us off.
Skype, you've been warned.
In a bad way. Usually a toss off is, nice little Friday afternoon. Very, very quick thing since we were talking about the other characters. Fucking Derolo's name. Percy's name.
Right.
Matthew says Klawalski.
Mm-hmm.
The wiki says Klasowski. Yeah, which is apparently the actual name. Mm-hmm. However, we do understand that Taliesin, he says Theodor, he says Nightmere, and he says Klawalski.
Yep.
So maybe those are the three words that he just can't really say very well. And the entire first campaign, it was supposed to be Klasowski, but he's the whole time said Klawalski. And then Matthew, when he introduces Percy to the group, he says Klawalski.
He says it the way that Percy would say it.
Right. Even though in the wiki it's supposed to be I don't follow those other things.
Yeah, Klawski.
Because I only know the name from what I've heard, and I know the name. Right. Oh shit! I wonder if I could recite it right now.
I'm not gonna try.
Percival Van Musel. Wait, is that the second one? Percival
Fredrickson von Musel Klawski the third.
Well, you said Klawalski wrong.
Klawski.
You said it wrong.
Klawski.
You son of a bitch. I'm going with in-game canon. I'm not going with that wiki.
Percival Fredrickson von Musel Klawski de Rollo III.
Oh, so you're reading off something, man. I'm going off of memory, you son of a bitch. That's not how this is supposed to work.
I just told you I'm not going to do it unless I can read it.
Oh, I must have been talking while he said that. Mm-hmm. Well, that was my quick yes and. I think we're back to rollies. I think just to talk about that, I think that's exactly it. I think that Taliesin said it one way, and that became the whole time.
And that became the way Percy said it. So
yeah,
all right. Hey, I'm right in the middle. 10.
I'm gonna start winning these at some point. 14. Fucking hell. About time. Okay, let's bang these things out. All right.
Go.
Okay. I have some things from some of the last ones. Yeza made these potions
Okay.
from campaign 2.
Probably.
I don't know if that's super obvious or not, but he's the one that they hired or enslaved. The Cerberus Assembly enslaved.
I don't know if he's still making them, but definitely he made the recipe.
He did. He did the research to make these things.
Yep.
You know, and that's a really cool fucking tie to campaign 2.
Potions of possibility. Yeah.
Yeah, like the little the same thing. I think that if they're the same, that they pumped Milo just dumped into fucking Ashton to just like he just fucking lived.
Absolutely.
Like it's out of nowhere. And then also now he's got all this fucking shit. All of these little potions were from Yeza's work.
Yeah. Fun little thing.
Yeah, it was something that nobody said, and on the four-frighted dive, nobody mentioned it. I think maybe it was just like an obvious thing that I was just like, oh, that's Yeza's work.
Yeah.
There's a campaign 2 parallel. Because there's so many campaign 1 parallels right now, but very few campaign 2 except for the Cerberus Assembly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeza was his name.
That's
a halfling man.
Not Yeza, Brian. We know you're watching.
Oof.
That's it for that one. Just a quick one. A little.
I like it. I got a really quick one for you then to back that one up. Every once in a while, they do really really cool things that I notice and that don't actually mean anything and don't have any effect whatsoever.
Happens constantly.
But Ashton strapping the immovable rod to his forearm was fucking genius.
I missed this.
If I ever get when they went into the Shadow Realm. As soon as they went in, Ashton took Laudna's immovable rod, and he's like, I strap it to my forearm. And I'm just like, holy fuck, that's genius. Like, as if you're falling off a cliff or something, or it's falling or whatever, you just go click, gunk, and then suddenly you're not falling anymore.
Dude, that's brilliant as F.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, I saw that, and I was like, get the fuck out of here. Why hasn't...
And he's made of stone, so it's not going to rip him apart.
Yeah. Wow. I mean... that's beside the point. So sort of beside the point. I just think it's a fucking cool thing to do. It's really, really neat.
Fuck. I didn't pick up on that.
I will definitely use that. I wrote it down. I'm like, yes.
I've only seen the second half one time. I've seen this first half 2 times.
Let's do another rollies then. We banged out 2 quick ones there.
Let's get through these.
4.
A fucking 5 again? Gee. Oh, but I still win it.
Yep.
All right, let's knock one out. I don't want those ones. I like this one. Matt took a stanza out of Brendan Lee Mulligan's poem when he said, "You look down and you see the starscape." I don't think Matthew had that idea before the Calamity EXU happened. Maybe. And when he said that, I was like, you're nodding your hat, and I fucking love it because you're just it's 2 amazing DMs just like sharing beauty, you know? I loved it when I heard him say that because I'm like, dude, that's not your idea. Maybe you had the idea before. Maybe. But sorry, BLM said it first. It was beautiful. You know, it's like you look down and you see a starscape. And then when you go through, it turns out these trees are upside down. But as soon as you go through, it all rights itself. And then you're in this other realm. Yeah, man. Right? I loved it. I loved it. It was beautiful. It put me in a space.
Nice. That's good. That's wonderful. I'm gonna end that with another putting another space together. Ashley was waffling somewhere in the middle of the battle, not sure what to do. Like, I don't know what I want to do. And she was trying to do this, waffling back and forth. I can't figure it out. And she was like, I want to do this, I want to do that. And Matt was sort of like, you tell me what you want to do. And Taliesin looks up and goes, I want to win.
I missed this.
And they had a little tete-a-tete there, and Matt was like, that's an action. Taliesin says, that's a reaction. It's like fucking mwah. chef's kiss to that one. That one really, it was a little moment that they had.
Tell me
that I
what
was just
you'd like to do.
Brilliant. Taliesin just said it so matter-of-factly that Matt was like, you tell me what you want to do. And Talison's like, I want to win. It was just really, really, really good. That's an action. That's a reaction.
Man, I want Taliesin to understand how fucking witty he is, because God damn it, when that shit comes out of his fucking face.
Okay, and now I'm going to yes and myself, because as soon as so I've got these time stamped. 3:24:07 is when that little conversation happened. 3:24:23, Ashley says, well, can't I, since I have a level in Rogue, do like a ... Matt's like, you can disengage as a bonus action and not take an AOP. No, you absolutely cannot.
Uh-oh, an error?
This one bugged me because I play a Rogue now. She took 1 level in Rogue. You don't get cunning action.
Here it comes back. Okay.
You don't get cunning action until level 2. Cunning action allows you to, as a bonus action, hide, disengage, or dash. Hide, disengage, or dash. 2. At level, your second level in Rogue. Yes. She only took 1 level in Rogue. She cannot do this thing. And it bugs me because this kind of thing, though it's innocuous and okay, whatever, yes, you're right, doesn't matter really that much. It kind of does, because this disrupts the flow. Because if she wasn't able to disengage, then she gets the AOP, and maybe it hits and maybe it doesn't, but it does change the battlefield. It does.
Could very easily, potentially, right?
Yes, it very easily could have an effect, especially when you're dealing with something that may have Sentinel, which when it hits on an AOP, your movement is 0.
Right.
So it does have ramifications, and I don't like the fact that it's like, well, I took 1 level in Rogue, I can do like a cunning action thing, because it's just one of those things where you don't know your character, and Matt was enabling it, and I'm like, okay, fine.
It's got to be on D&D Beyond.
But yeah, it absolutely is. But she didn't look. Nobody's looking.
Was she not looking at her screen or something? No. Because if it's not on the screen, she'd be like, well, I could do this, right? And if Matthew's like, well, he doesn't have all their screens up.
So she'll click on on the D&D Beyond thing, you click on bonus actions and it gives you the whole list. And if it's not there, which I'm guessing is what happened, she's like, bonus action. Oh yeah, but it doesn't say it, but can't I, since I have a level in Rogue, do like and Matt's like, yeah, you can do the cunning action, which is what Rogues can do. But she only has 1 level in Rogue, and it's a bit whiny, but I'm like, it's not fair. Like this is it's just not fair.
The thing is, if they need to, they'll retcon.
Yeah.
And it's happened before where
This is not the first time.
Once where there was like a big old retcon, like where it's like, I think it was probably Liam, because he's the most honest person in the world.
Yeah.
And he's like sitting there's like, hey, by the way, the last time we left off, there was this, so I shouldn't have had this. And I have it all recorded down here. You can check it out if you want to, but I definitely should not have been able to do this. Yeah, I think that happened once, like towards the end of campaign 2.
Yeah, he did that as Caleb, a big one, and Sam does it often with his characters as well.
Sam usually does it pretty quick.
Yeah, Sam catches it pretty quick. Liam, I know the instance you're talking about with Liam. It was with Caleb and something. I think what bugs me about it the most is that we played D&D this weekend, and my DM and I were talking about this exact issue, and it's like, if this wasn't being recorded and broadcasted for like thousands and thousands of people and potentially millions of people over time, it would not be as smooth, because at a regular D&D table there is a shit ton of rule lawyering going on all the time, and it bogs everything down and it makes it really slow and whatever, but it happens at every single table, and it goes back and forth and forth, and I know. The thing is, when you're at your own table, there's a lot of space for it because it's just you guys, But if there were thousands of people watching your table, it becomes a show. So let's keep the show going, weirdly, you'd be surprised because I think there are a lot of people out there that would like to watch that. Not as many as don't want to watch it, but there are people out there that would like to see it.
If I cared about the table, I definitely would like. Yeah,
I might be one of those people that would like to see stuff like that. So
I would. Like if I was watching your table, like I say every goddamn week, I'm like, Ben, I wish I could watch.
Yeah.
I would definitely love to watch some lawyering. For sure, because I'm into that shit.
It happens, and
I'm into it at my work. I'm into it with my music. I'm into it with
I think like I said in this situation, Ashley not knowing that somebody, if they were of that mindset, somebody would say, "Hey man, as a rogue, you can't actually do that. You only have one level in rogue, so you can't do the cunning action." Then they would spend 5 minutes looking it up and be like, "Oh yeah, you're right. You can't." And then suddenly she's like, "Well, now I really don't know what to do." And then there's another 10 minutes of her trying to figure out what to do and blah blah blah. It would turn into a whole 25-30 minute thing. So yes, I understand, and it's all good. It doesn't really have a thing, but again, know your character. That's all I got. That's
your character, know your skills.
Yep.
Yeah, can't put it all on Matt. Even though he's
not all.
Him and Liam are. Matt definitely is the most knowledgeable. Yep. But
yes.
Well, hey,
yes.
I don't hold it against them. Any of them, because they make mistakes as they go. Again, it's a show with thousands upon arenas of people watching them. So it's like, okay, I get you if you make a little flub, But if it's something that actually has repercussions, I'll be like, you better address that shit.
Sure.
Let's do one more because I really got to pee and we're at 54 minutes already.
Let's do one more, really. I got it.
Yeah,
I got
I'm
you.
gonna go ahead and win this one so we can get this one out with
natural
a 3.
5. Oh,
Jesus Christ! What is happening here?
You got some low rolls. I got a 5 there, man.
Super low. Did I go over 10 once? I didn't. No, my highest roll was 5.
No, you got a 14.
I got a 14. All right. I'll take
it. I'm gonna go back a little bit. After Percy,
not too far. I really got to pee.
So after Ashton went after Percy, follows him. He's like, "Fuck this," and he goes after him and gives that fucking pretty eloquent speech for Ashton, for someone with a charisma of 6.
Right.
I mean, the charisma of 6 doesn't really mean anything. You can still be well spoken and have a shitty charisma. After that speech, and then Percy's like, "No, I'm not. I don't care. I will end you all. You should against it. Great. But then Ashton turns around and sees Trinket and 2 more bears.
It's hard to get these names in order.
And then has this fucking weird conversation with Trinket
Very
and the
strange.
other bears. I'm like, what? So I literally just wrote down, what the fuck is up with that?
I have that on mine too.
I don't know, man. I don't even know what to say.
What the fuck is up with that? W2F IUWT.
Exactly. I wrote the same thing. I'm like, come on, what is this all about? What does this even mean? It was weird.
Yeah, it was strange.
Yep.
I kind of liked it, but I also thought like, okay, I think Taliesin is looking for something more, and he's just not finding it right here. Mm-hmm. It's a bear, and it's 3 bears. All right, we get the idea. Yeah, it's Trinket and 2 adolescent bears. We got it. Mm-hmm. There's some children involved.
What are their names? What are their names?
Well, we never know. We might never know.
I'm gonna say Tchotchke and
Clutch.
No. Nick? I would say Nick Knack and Tchotchke.
Oh, there you go. Tchotchke is great. Yeah, Nick Knack. Nick for short. Yeah,
sure. Well, Nick and Knack.
Oh, Nick Knack. There you go.
Nick is Trinket and his 2 children, Nick and Knack.
Nick Knack. Man, I don't know if Trinket would be that. Trinket's only got an intelligence of 7. I don't know if he'd be that brilliant, but he would take the word from his mom.
Yeah, sure.
Like,
Mom would just be like, "You're Trinket.
I called you Trinket.
This is Nick,
and
this is Knack."
All right, last little follow-up to this. Sam's gag on the gas tank thing. What was it?
Oh, yeah. Oh, it was a wanted lost character, answers to the name of...
Did it have a picture of Marisha on it?
Marisha. Answers
Not
to the name of...
Marisha.
Of Red, Kentucky, I forget a bunch of other the nicknames that they've called her, and then it was something along. I don't remember exactly what it said.
There's a huge difference between the size of this screen and the size of the TV that both of us have. About the same size TV.
Yeah.
When you blow this up to that size in 4K or whatever the fuck they stream at, 1080, whatever.
They on the Twitch stream, they announce when he first pulls the gas can up. If you open up chat, they'll actually the bots, the moderators or the bots will say, "This is what the gas can says."
Oh,
they actually spell it out for you, which is kind of a neat little feature. I like it.
Yeah, it is nice.
Yep.
Huh. But I just never look at chat because I don't want any spoilers. I don't want theories.
Fuck chat. They're terrible.
Yeah. Are you still sticking with it? Your second watch through?
Sometimes.
You still put chat up?
Sometimes. Yeah.
I can't do it, dude. I tried it my second or third.
I think it's just hilarious. People are weird, man. And humans are weird. And I mean, there is nothing. Yes, it's a moderated chat, so it's very, very non-threatening, and it's very. There is no. There's no foulness at all. It is a moderated chat, so it's quite tame. But it's funny. We're weird things. People say weird things.
When you get thousands of people, I mean, even when they turn it on slow mode, it's still super fucking fast, dude. Oh, man, I'm about to piss my pants. Okay, so let's end this shit right here, right? All right, I still got some evergreen things, but they're over.
Save them for next week or the week after or whatever. Yeah.
I had one that came over from last week, but it was actually answered since then. So we'll see what happens here too. All right, cool. Well then we're gonna call it right there. Y'all, if we spout some bullshit or if you want to get involved whatsoever, the best way to do it right here, like Ben Hamilton's been doing, just get in touch with those comments right down there. Yeah, we've got our email and shit, but I haven't checked the email once.
I went and looked at it and there was nothing. So
so just comments right down here. If you want to challenge us like Ben Hamilton does in his words. Or you want to get involved, whatever way, right down south there. And hey, if nothing else,
good.
All right. Hey, I got a show this weekend up in that wine festival.
Right on.
I think it's in Miaoli or Holy. I'm not really sure exactly which place it is. I just get in the car and I just play where I'm playing.
There you go.
But anyway, that's a Saturday. If y'all want to come to the wine fest, if you happen to be in Taiwan. Other than that, don't forget to love each other. And is it finally Friday?
Peace, bro. Take it easy.
Take care, buddy.